Kentucky Fried Chicken's signature slogan, "It's finger licking good," is to be temporarily dropped. I bet you can't guess why. A spokesperson for the company said, "We find ourselves in a unique situation, having an iconic slogan that doesn't quite fit in the current environment." KFC are the latest brand having to rejuvenate their marketing strategy to meet the challenge of a COVID-19 era. But how are other businesses adapting? And how do you appeal to a country changing its consumer habits day by day? Kate Hardcastle is a consumer and retail expert, and she joins me now. Morning, Kate.
Hi, Emma. You're okay?
Thank you. Yeah. How have the big brands in general adapted to COVID-19? I mean, what kind of conversations are taking place behind closed doors in boardrooms on this?
Well, it's significant because certainly the world of business was understanding they were going to have to absolutely start to really mimic and understand and listen to consumers much more, as we've seen the growth in and rise of things like social media. Consumer voice is much more powerful than ever before. And the fact and the idea that people who do not know each other, who do not have the relationship, who can't talk about a brand just over the washing line anymore, can connect and reach worldwide and either make or break a brand in some instances. So they have to be so much responsive and reactive to their audience, to customers. And sometimes they get it brilliantly right and sometimes they get it woefully wrong.
Well, can you give us some brilliantly right and some painfully wrong examples?
I think if you think about Nike's "Just Do It" slogan, it kind of has an energy to it. It's transcends generations and geographic regions and reach. It's got that aspirational quality. It's one of the most famous. But when you do look at something like Finger Lickin Good, when it comes to a situation as we're in at the moment, it's perhaps not the tasteful way to eat one's food anyway. But when it comes to the idea that we're not meant to be touching our mouths and hands very much and being a more clean and safety oriented with our food eating, it shows the weakness, I guess, in its statements like that. I think we've seen slogans come and go over the years. Most recently, when it comes to brand slogans, although this is not as much linked to the COVID situation as the very challenging retail dynamic, we've heard that John Lewis will be dropping their "Never Knowingly Undersold" slogan, which has led them to need to price promise all the time, and also then have this almost contrasting strategy of trying to build luxury quite nice places to visit in terms of their department stores. So slogans can make or break you. I think what's changing is the fact that consumers expect you to live up to that promise a lot more.
And I mean, presumably, obviously we talked about Kentucky Fried Chicken and COVID, and it becomes an unfortunate slogan. But COVID presumably has brought other opportunities, isn't it? I mean, whether it's online businesses or anything that kind of promotes health or, boosting your immune system, presumably.
Completely. So some of the trends in terms of ways we've changed, particularly because of this experience, although some of those trends were already emerging, is we're much more in contact with our emotional side. We're much more prepared to talk about mental health and well-being. We're trying to reach out to our communities at a time where we feel like we're locked away, even if those reaching out via a digital platform. We're looking to learn and grow a lot more. And we're actually still very keen on ethics and environment. So that's why you've seen brands like Yorkshire Tea and Ben & Jerry's step into quite a political arena with their marketing conversations on social media to very differing reactions from the public. And also you've seen brands like the supermarkets, particularly the big four, who perhaps hadn't had the best rapport with customers when we'd had the rise of the discounters like Aldi and Lidl, step into the forefront with this "Feed the Nation" slogan right at the beginning, where panic buying was absolutely amok, and that gave a lot of confidence and reassurance, and they won a lot of favour with that. So knowing the conversations that are happening on social media, understanding and engaging your consumer, and then understanding where your brand fits in all that, it's all part of the busy job of marketing teams now.
But as you were saying, Kate, the consumer's sort of more demanding in a way, aren't they? They don't just want promises. They actually want to believe that the promises will be fulfilled, that they're real, if you like. What kind of legislation is there in place that when products kind of pick on the themes of the moment, whether it's environment or sort of personal health, that it's actually true what they say?
Absolutely. Brands have to deliver on promise, and consumers can be quite quick to find them out. I think, particularly when we look in the influencer arena, where we've seen people go from zero to hero in terms of followers and suddenly get an amount of people listening to their every word, hanging on their every post. And then we've seen those influencers be found out almost in terms of them not leading that fully ethical or fully healthy lifestyle. It's shown how quickly a brand of any type can be brought down. If you're concerned about a product at all, then we have consumer rights here. So it could be the way that you buy a product, or you can indeed look into trading standards as well. Those processes can still be quite a long journey as a customer. And some customers just prefer to have their voices be heard on social media and can do a lot of damage with that, which is why we've now seen a lot of brands pay a lot more attention to who they have having a conversation on their behalf on social media. And they're getting specialists in to make sure every single word and the way they reply counts. And if they've got a negative conversation, Emma, believe me, they try and get that conversation offline as quickly as possible.
Kate Hardcastle, thank you very much.